This was the high point of my week. Absolutely nothing could cramp my style. The performance of our athletes can be described as a tour de force, indicative of the amount of time and energy they devote to their craft, and their hard work keeps paying off. Jamaica Magazine salutes our men and women at the IAAF World Championships in Beijing, China, who continue to proudly represent the black, green, and gold inside the bird's nest. And you think we're done? We just a come. Remember this?
Stop of power on action for Jamaica. Jamaica, gold, 27.10. World record!
Forever etched in our memories, good luck to our relay teams that will be on show Friday night and Saturday and Sunday morning. So, now that I've got that off my chest, let's move on to the lineup for Jamaica Magazine on this busy Friday evening. We'll keep the feel-good spirit alive. Stay tuned for a recap of all activities during this year's Emancipation and Independence Day celebrations. Plus, saving for when we get old, retirement planning tips. I'm Adrian Atkinson. All that and much more after these messages.
The Petra Caribe Development Fund has been helping to transform the Jamaican landscape for over 9 years, expanding our roadways, modernizing our airports, facilitating the creation of jobs and providing academic scholarships, reshaping communities and improving sanitation facilities. The Petra Caribe Development Fund, moving beyond energy security. To find out more about the fund, call 960-9110 or visit their website, petracaribejm.org.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Friday, August 28. $50.4 million is being spent to upgrade the Negril Police Station in Westmoreland. Among other things, the administrative area, barracks, and cells are being rehabilitated. The Tourism Enhancement Fund is financing the project, which forms part of the Tourism Ministry's investment in the security sector. The ministry recently facilitated the installation of several closed-circuit television CCTV cameras in Ocho Rios. Portfolio Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says his ministry has also committed $80 million to support the mobility of the police force this year.
This program that we're on is a holistic program because we realize that crime and tourism do not mix. And that is important into itself, but more importantly for us is the fact that we as Jamaicans do not want to live in a country with a high crime rate.
The Tourism Ministry has spent $240 million in 2 years on safety and security projects. The Jamaica Defense Force JDF Coast Guard has strengthened its operations following the receipt of maritime intercept vessels and tactical communication equipment. 2 37-feet Boston whaler vessels and equipment were handed over to the JDF from the United States on Wednesday. They were made possible through a security partnership with the United States Southern Command Counter-Narcotics Division. U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica Luis Moreno says the vessels and equipment will boost the JDF's capacity to patrol the coastline and intensify the fight against drug trafficking and organized crime.
We'll help empower the JDF Coast Guard to patrol the Jamaican coastline in a comprehensive manner. With the delivery of 5 additional similar vessels throughout the rest of the year, the JDF and Coast Guard will be able to greatly increase the frequency of coverage of their operations.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting and representatives of the JDF thanked the United States for their continuous cooperation on security-related matters. The Education Ministry is replacing 135 damaged or defunct metal detectors in secondary schools as part of measures to keep school grounds safe. Director of Safety and Security in Schools Sergeant Coleridge Minto made the announcement on Tuesday while at a GIS think tank.
It is our intention that all schools at that level have in place a metal detector to be used to prevent weapons and metals and objects from coming into the school to be used as a tool against other students or persons on the school plant. It's not to infringe on their rights, but it's to ensure that when they send their child or children to school, they can remain safe and go back home to them.
He said deans of discipline were being trained to use the devices. Sergeant Coleridge also revealed that the ministry was reviewing the use of metal detectors in primary schools. An advisory board has been established to guide the activities of the Jamaican Girls Who Code program. State Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, Julian Robinson, made the announcement at the recent award ceremony for 40 primary school students who participated in the 2015 Jamaican Girls Who Code Summer Camp. The camp is an initiative of the Technology Ministry. Minister Robinson says the advisory board's immediate plan is to get the girls to continue utilizing the coding technology in their communities.
One of our objectives going forward from this summer camp is to see how we can roll this out on an island-wide basis, and also to piggyback on the Tablets in School project, where some of the young ladies are at schools that are part of that project, to see how we can develop clubs at each of those schools.
And finally, students in and around Bull Bay will continue to benefit from an after-school program at the newly refurbished community center in Windsor Lodge. The program is coordinated by the Hope Foundation and is supported by the Constituency Development Fund. The fully computerized community center was renovated at a cost of nearly $12 million with funding from the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program, the Sports Development Foundation, and Canadian partner Yellowbird Foundation. St. Andrew East Rural MP Damian Crawford says the center will also support the work of his 3-2-1 program, which aims to increase the number of residents earning CXC, CAPE, and degree programs.
We'll be having shuttles from Harbourview to 10 Mile, which is the end of the constituency, and all students who are interested and their parents will be able to register them here, and they will be doing special homework programs, accessing the computers, and we have 3 of each book from first 1 grade to 6th form that persons who have challenges in purchasing their books will be able to access here.
The Ministry of Education has also assigned 2 literacy specialists to assist students who are reading below their level. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Like our athletes now in Beijing, Festival 2015 invoked a sense of pride and patriotism. It was an occasion to remember. Proud and free, Jamaica 53.
Come everybody make we join the line, celebration again, independent time. A 53 years since we get free, pop style make the whole world see.
The dances, the performances are really up to par. Everything is just running smoothly, and we are indeed having a great time this year.
I realize that a lot of work also went into preparing this, and I must congratulate the organizers of this evening's activity.
All right, me neighbor drink out. Down a country, me born and grow up. Me used to me do kuno me toto and me dread not and the jerk pan where some woke up.
The festival song finals on July 4 paved the way for a series of events leading up to August 6, or Emancipation and Independence celebrations.
Come everybody make we join the line, celebration, independence time. A 53 years since we get free, pop style make the whole world see.
Ancient Priest's celebration time was a fitting choice to cheer on activities, such as the crowning of other ambassadors.
Who's there to remind her that with God things can change, and if she's lost he can find her.
Bring forth kings and queens from this womb. The 2015 Miss Jamaica Festival Queen winner is Miss Manchester!
Everybody make we join the line, celebration again in
the Ministry of Youth and Culture, through its agency, the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, ensured that all was in place for the smooth rollout of the festival celebrations. The theme, Proud and Free Jamaica 53.
We're very pleased that we've been able to give the Jamaican public not only the best of the performing arts in music, dance, but also fashion, gospel music.
When you come to Melagaron, you're guaranteed to have a good time.
Girls of the power, ready for the test, strength of a woman. Boys of the strength, we don't settle for less. In everything we do, we reap success.
It's amazing how they can get them to perform in unison without slipping up. It's fabulous. Melagron is always a crowd pleaser, and you actually get to see the beautiful talent across the country. And every year, the children get better and the youth get better.
She stop, she go, she stop.
The Jamaican culture was also kept alive through fashion, music and dance at the Independence Village in the Randy Williams Entertainment Center.
All right. Whoa, yeah. Hey.
It's awesome, and it's just showing up the young people's talent.
If you just put your hand in mine, we're gonna leave all our troubles behind.
The monkey is gone, but his dancing lives on, so everybody gets jiggy and just party on.
For 6 days, the village was buzzing with activities.
It's my first time here, and it's a good experience for me. The turnout was good, the sale was good, everything about it was good.
The Independence Village experience was a wonderful experience, and I think persons appreciated it. And we had a wonderful turnout throughout the day. I mean, there were so many activities to do.
Over the last 2-3 years, we've really tried to hone it, perfect it. And what is good is that we've managed the resources because we've put everything in-house and made sure that we also showcase the best of what government agencies can do. So everything here is produced by the government of Jamaica.
Then the grand finale on August 6th.
This is a very proud moment for all Jamaicans. Jamaica 53. This is part of the pride and joy of all Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora.
This is Jamaica, my Jamaica, the land of my birth. We put the faith and the trust in our Father. He's keeping us alive, so give thanks and praise. We are still alive.
Certainly the festival songs that were performed would bring back memories of old Jamaica. The World Reggae Dancers did a very good job, I thought, of bringing in what the new culture is.
It's been a great grand gala so far. We made sure that this year we showcase it in a different way, more history, more audience interaction, and the Jamaica stage. There are a lot more new features, and I think the audience likes it.
And not only that, but they also rocked the bandana fashion, with a little denim, of course.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. Keep the vibes and I stood my ground. They will never ever take my crown.
This year, I love the theme, Jamaica 53, proud and indeed free.
All the activities truly represented the theme.
It really has ignited the country in a way, and that is what we really wanted, for people to really get a sense of our independence, but also a sense of our culture, feeling at home. We have some more surprises next year. We're actually in planning now for next year. Every year we've increased the expectation, and so you just have to wait and see again next year.
Come everybody, make we join the line, celebration again, independent time.
Life is all about making decisions, choosing from a number of options to do a particular thing, which may result in a specific outcome.
It can be difficult, but there are 4 things you can do to help make that decision.
Stop. Check out what's happening and remind yourself to think before acting.
Think. Make sure you're aware of the choices, all the advantages and disadvantages. Then think about the consequences.
Act. Choose the best option and do something about it.
Review. Finally, review what you have done and determine if it was good or bad. That way, you'll be in a better position to make the next decision, whether big or simple.
One such decision has to do with retirement planning. Jared Keynes once said, I've got a sizable retirement nest egg. It's an ostrich egg, and it's going to make an omelette so big that it will produce enough leftovers for decades. What about you? What's the size of your egg? Tips on making that big omelette next.
Imagine a life fully devoted to a profession. Toiling through the sweltering heat, or hard at work in an office, racking up awards and earning a low, moderate, or really generous salary along the way. But years later, when seniority dictates that a day-to-day job is no longer feasible, you are left bereft of funds.
One could find themselves in serious deficit.
Retirement becomes fiscally strained, and you are no longer able to maintain a quality standard of living. Before that happens, apply the every mickle make a muckle technique. Plan for your retirement before it's too late. Everyone needs some form of financial security when they retire. The planning process starts with the basic principle of financial planning, a budget. Look at your income and expenditure and make spending cuts where applicable. Once you've identified the amount of money to go towards your retirement, invest it in an approved pension scheme that will guarantee an adequate rate of return.
In terms of the accrual on the investment, and of course, something that will ensure that you have a guaranteed income at the point of retirement.
Now, if you work with a company that makes it mandatory for employees to make pension payments to an approved retirement scheme, 5% of your gross monthly salary will likely go towards your pension.
What that means is that the contribution is applied directly to the pension account before taxes are taken. That allows your contribution to be a more efficient contribution for the purposes of your retirement.
The money is not kept in the employer's account. Instead, it goes directly to a pension fund supervised by a licensed financial institution.
If it is, though, that you're planning to properly prepare, a 5% contribution is not likely to give you or generate the sort of income that you will need or sufficient enough to take care of those retirement needs, let's say 5 years, 10 years into the retirement.
So the idea is to gradually increase the amount you contribute over a period of time. Be aware, though, that you can only contribute as much as 20% of your gross monthly income. Employees can access their company's contribution to the pension plan after a specific number of years called the vesting period. If your employer doesn't have a set pension fund, or if you're a self-employed person, you can still visit a financial institution and join an approved pension fund, and you will still get the tax-free benefit. This individual retirement account, however, is only available to persons who are not already a part of an approved pension scheme. Only one pension or retirement fund is permitted under the law. Other forms of investments, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, fixed deposit accounts, etc., can also be used to shore up your retirement reserves. Whichever route you choose, a financial advisor is recommended.
An advisor, for example, can look at your arrangement and say, listen, based on your current level of contributions and based on where you're projected to be, assuming your retirement occurs in 10 or 15 years, we may need to ask you to increase your premiums to make sure there's no shortfall.
Now, some people believe they are too young to start planning for the period when they will not be able to work. That mindset needs to change. Consider this scenario. There are two individuals, both investing $10,000 each monthly, but one started to make the contribution at age 30 and the other started at age 40.
The individual that starts at age 30, at his point of retirement, can expect a projected value on his retirement account of about 46 million. For somebody who started 10 years later, so instead of 30, now 40, their accumulated value is 13 million.
That's a $33 million difference. When it comes to retirement, it costs to wait.
By way of an earlier start, that individual can expect to have a higher percentage of his final income replaced at the point of retirement.
The government has also taken steps to ensure that persons have some form of income when they retire. This is being manifested through the National Insurance Scheme (NIS), a 2.5% mandatory contribution by both the employer and employee. 2% of the contribution goes towards the NIS and the remainder to the National Health Fund (NHF). There are several benefits to the NIS. A funeral grant, widow's benefit, and orphan's benefit are among them. But when it comes to monthly pension payments, the NIS is deemed the great equalizer.
It is based on the principle of work, and it says that all work is work, regardless of how much you are paid for it. So those persons who contribute more to the scheme will earn more from the scheme. But in general, a person who contributes at a low level gets the same flat rate benefit as a person who contributes at a higher level.
So if you are not making your NIS payments, a good time to start is now. You can register with any NIS office in your area. And even if you contribute to the NIS, you're always advised to look at other forms of retirement benefits. Real estate is a good investment.
Take the business of retirement very seriously. So start early is my recommendation. Make sure that once you've started that you stick to it.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the hyping. You think I saw? We reach out the edging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
Last week inside School Zone, we featured an empowerment session for our young girls. And as you know, we here at the GIS are not one-sided. We strike a balance. So, in this week's School Zone, Boys' Day at Jose Marti Technical High takes center stage.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a joy when they want me to frown.
It's all about the boys today on School Zone. Yes, it's Boys' Day at Jose Marti Technical High School, and we're giving you highlights. Stick around.
Swear!
Trabajando y estudiando para el hombre total. That's Spanish for working and studying to be the total man. It's the motto for the Jose Marti Technical High School in St. Catherine. Quite fitting for its annual Boys' Day celebrations, where we were schooled that the males of this institution see themselves as men. So why have a Boys' Day?
We are always looking for things to motivate our boys. We know that in Jamaica, the rate at which our boys are performing is not like the girls, and so we're always trying to find means by which we can motivate them, recognize their efforts, because our boys here have been improving steadily over the years.
You come to school and they teach you about chemistry, so you can be a chemist. You come to school, they can teach you about mathematics, so you can be a mathematician. But the most important thing in our life, which is to be men. To be a man is to represent God himself, to represent Christ. And that we need training for.
Rise to the occasion, look at yourself and say you're strong. No one can stop you.
Over 300 young men came out for the Jose Marti Technical's Boys' Day. Your attitude determines your altitude was the driving theme for an exciting program which saw successful men encouraging the young boys to follow in their footsteps.
One thing I know, the wise man learns from the mistakes of others, while the foolish man learns from his own mistakes.
So if we are talking about a better country in the future, you must be very involved in it because of your country in the future. That's how it goes. Everybody preview me, I say. Good. So if that means that the development of the country is dependent on the young people, then the young people have to first develop themselves. All on have potential. All on have great potential. But potential by itself is nothing. If you don't focus on making yourself capable If you don't focus on making yourself better in school, then you're going to enjoy 5 years and suffer 50 years.
This message of adopting a positive, uplifting attitude wasn't relegated to a day's activities. At Jose Marti, the Boys' Day agenda was bigger than this single event, and we saw the fruits of those efforts on our visit.
This is all done by the students of the Jose Marti Technical High School, the agriculture and vocation in specific. These are all grown on our school farm, and they are cared for by the students, and we harvest them and we sell them to members of staff, and the money will go back into the school's budget, and we'll just continue the procedure. What they're trying to instill in us that no matter what, you need a trade to fall back on, because we don't know where we will sway in the future. So
raising chicken, it is very easy and simple. The chicken takes 6 weeks to properly grow and ready to kill. The basics need like to clean the poultry properly, give them food and water.
Oops! Yes, we got a fright from the chicken. But back to Daniel, who asserts that it's become a profitable venture.
Work is very hard to find, miss, and this is a trade that would last forever.
And what a talented group of young men the Jose Marti Technical High is producing. The Jose Marti boys were also joined by their peers from other schools. When we return, we hear from some of the boys sharing what they learned and catch other snapshots of the day's activities.
We're from the Jose Marti Technical High School, and you're watching School Zone.
Welcome back. Now, if you think a man can't cook, then you obviously haven't met the Jose Marti Chicos. Yes, that's Spanish for boys. A critical part of the day was showing that boys do have a role in the kitchen. Other activities included a quiz testing their knowledge and aptitude, plus lots more. So how important was this day to the young men?
This Boys' Day activity is very important as it relates to boys' development. And in having activities like these, boys can get to realize their true potential, what they can do in order to develop themselves for the future.
It's a good thing because this has shown the young men of the society to be real men and to work hard.
School Zone thoroughly enjoyed the Jose Marti Boys' Day and support the empowerment of all our men. How encouraging is it to see all these young men involved, developing not only themselves but also their school and their wider community. As their theme for today says, your attitude determines your altitude. Till next time, for School Zone, I'm Tamara McKeel.
Rise to the occasion, look at yourself and say you're strong. No one can stop you, oh, yeah. Rise to the occasion, go ahead, you know.
Be Gladbag's still a boss. It's not cliche at all. Our athletes did us proud, and they deserve enough respect and big up. While we bask in the performance of our athletes, remember to keep up to date with all the useful information at gis.gov.jm and keep sharing your comments via Jamaica Magazine at gis.gov.jm or sound off on social media. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for staying with us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.